and welcome to Happy Heart on the Prairie's first episode on positive thinking. My name is Rebecca and I will be the host of this blog. I'm a speech therapist and I live in central Illinois, and the goal of my vlog is to share practices that have helped me and that have helped my clients to build happier, healthier relationships with those around them and to build happiness within themselves. And so today's first episode is going to be on positive thinking. Now, I consider myself now a positive thinker, but I wasn't always that way. I would say that from the time I was a child, I was actually a confirmed negative thinker, definitely a pessimist. I went through some childhood experiences, like many people do, that led me to believe that if things could go wrong, they probably would go wrong in the world. And as Dumbledore suggested to Harry and his gang, constant vigilance was key. And so from the time I was a child to about 3 years ago, that was my mode of operation, constant vigilance. I tried to be proactive and to keep my eyes open, problem solve both as a mom, professionally, and as a person, and keep things under control so that things would go well for myself and for my family and for my clients. The problem with this approach to life is that it is pretty exhausting and stressful, and it takes a toll. And about 3 years ago, it took a toll on me, and I became chronically ill. I tried for about 18 months to get over my chronic illness, and I saw many doctors, and I had many medical interventions, but I just couldn't seem to lick it. And it became clear to me that if I was going to have a healthier outcome, if I was going to get better from this chronic illness, really one of the first places to start was with my attitude, that I was going to have to change, because we know from research that people with positive attitudes have better health outcomes, they have happier relationships, and they have less anxiety and depression. And honestly, at that point in my life, I had problems with all three areas. And so I knew that for me, this was the place to start. So I researched practices on how to change a negative attitude, negative thinking. And I looked at cognitive behavioral therapy, and which is a whole school of therapeutic practice. And I looked at self-fulfilling prophecy research, which is basically looks at how when you think positively, that can actually shape a positive outcome, and there have been research studies on that. And I looked at law of attraction, which is more of a new age approach to positive psychology. And they all basically say the same thing, that if you think positively, that will impact the way people around you view you and how they react to you, because you will be behaving more positively. And so there will be, you will receive more positive energy and interactions and things happening in your life as well. Research out of the University of Toronto has shown that people who think positively also actually have a wider scope of view, that they actually see more possibilities and are able to problem solve better. So there's a lot of research out there to support it, and I was ready for it. However, how do you change from a negative thinking attitude to a positive thinking attitude when you are basically at the lowest point of your life and you have never felt worse physically, emotionally, or mentally? It's a tough place to start from. So I found a strategy that worked very well for me, and I want to share it with you today. And the strategy is called positive affirmations, and I want to run through that with you. So the first step in creating positive affirmations is to take a piece of paper, and this is based on the method that I read about online. And it was consistent with cognitive behavioral therapy, so I felt like it was a good bet. So you take a piece of paper and you fold it in half. On one side of the paper, you write the negative thoughts, the over and over and over again negative thoughts that come into your mind over a 24-hour period or a 2-day period. For me, at that time, and you write them on the left-hand side of the page, on one side of the page. At the time, for me, my over and over again thoughts were, I am very sick, and I am a burden to my family. These were the two main negative thoughts, and I believed it. So how do you change that thought and that belief? Because the next step is to change the negative thought to a positive thought. And here's the kicker. The positive thought has to be believable by you. It doesn't work if you don't believe it. So here was my problem. The strongest positive thoughts are the ones that in which you state, I am something, like I am healthy. Well, there was no way at that point I could believe that I was healthy. So that was not going to work. And I learned a little trick that really helped me. And that was that, you know what? It's all baby steps, and you can start small. And so if you are not ready to be able to say, I am healthy, if you're not even ready to say, or think or believe, I am becoming healthy, you can start here. You can think, I am ready to. And I was ready to be healthy. And so that became my positive thought. I am ready to be healthy. And I could believe that. That was absolutely true. It was true. I could believe it and I could get behind it. And so this was a good place for me to start. And gradually, as I started to feel a little bit better on those days that I felt better, I upped it a notch to I am becoming. So that would be the next level. And then finally, nowadays, here is my positive affirmation, my positive thought, and that is, I am healthy. Sure, I'm not perfectly healthy. I have a cold today, but you know what? I am healthy. I can believe that. And I'm going to get over my cold, and I'm doing great. So, I'm ready to be healthy was my beginning positive thought to counter the negative thinking that I was stuck in. And so the other positive thought that I could get behind for the negative thought, I am a burden to my family, was, you know what? There were things that I was doing for my family that were valuable. And so I countered that thought with the positive thought, I am valuable to my family. I cook for them and I have conversations with them. I didn't have much energy for much else, but I was doing those things and I could do those things. And you know what? Better yet, I needed to start doing those things with a smile on more smiles on my face. And so that was my positive thought that I changed my negative thought to. And so then what you do, the technique says you fold the page, You put away the negative thoughts forever, and now you just have a list of positive thoughts or positive affirmations, believable ones. And every day, multiple times a day, you read this list to yourself. And I have a list of about 6 or 8. I really took all the recurring negative thoughts, and there were more than these, and I turned them into positives. I had a good list of 6 to 8 of them. And in the morning, first thing when I woke up, I had them sitting beside my bed. And I'd pick them up and I'd read through them. And last thing at night before I went to sleep, I would read through these positive affirmations. And this was a great way for me to retrain my brain and start to really make a habit of thinking these positive thoughts. And so that was the first strategy, the positive affirmation strategy. The second strategy that I utilized was catching negative thoughts and restating them as positives. So I would do my positive affirmations twice a day, but still during the course of the day, because I was a long time negative thinker, something would happen, a little thing would happen, and a negative thought would pop into my head. And so I tried to start to pay a little bit more attention. That's what this second strategy is about. It's starting to pay attention to your thinking. And when I would think a negative thought and actually catch it, I would restate it in my head. I'd catch it and I would change it. Just as I did in this exercise, I would change it, but mentally in my head, and mentally in my head say the new words of the positive thought. So for instance, this past week, I got my daughter and my husband's cold, and I thought, oh no, I'm not going to have the energy to do all the things I want to do this weekend. And as soon as I started thinking that negative thought, I noticed it. And I thought, okay, time to get out the catch negative thoughts and restate them as positive strategy. And so I reframed that, restated it in my head as, okay, I'm sick. This is a great opportunity for me to do something low energy to just nurture myself and treat myself, because I really don't have the energy to do big projects like clean the house or do a lot of cooking. So it's a great opportunity to just nurture myself a little and do something that doesn't take much energy. So this is what I did. I had this craft that I'd been wanting to do for my girlfriend. It's for her backyard barn, and it's a Swedish welcome sign. And so she did a study abroad in Sweden many, many years ago, and so she wanted one of these for her new little red backyard Swedish barn. And so I did this when I was sick over the weekend. So what a positive thing to come out of a little negative circumstance. I hope that you have found this first vlog on positive thinking helpful. Until next time, I wish you a great week and blessings for health, happiness, prosperity, and great relationships. Till next time, goodbye.